Have you ever seen a beautiful houseplant growing in nothing but a glass of water? No soil, no messy pots, just clear water, elegant green leaves, and delicate roots gently floating inside a glass container. It might sound surprising, but many popular indoor plants can actually thrive this way. In fact, some plants grow so comfortably in water that they can live there for months or even years with the right care. Growing plants in water is one of the simplest and cleanest ways to enjoy indoor gardening. There's no spilled soil to worry about, no complicated setups, and very little maintenance. All you need is a healthy cutting, a container of water, and a bright spot in your home. For people living in apartments, small homes, or even working in offices, this method can be a perfect solution. A small glass jar on a desk, a bottle on a windowsill, or a row of plants along a kitchen shelf can instantly bring life and freshness into a space. And there's something especially beautiful about watching the roots grow. When plants are kept in clear containers, their roots become part of the display, twisting, branching, and slowly developing beneath the water in a way that's both fascinating and decorative. In today's video, we're going to explore a collection of indoor plants that can thrive in only water. These plants are not only easy to grow, but they also make stunning additions to any home. If you've ever wanted a simple, clean, and beginner-friendly way to grow plants indoors, you might be surprised by just how many plants are happy to grow without soil at all. Before we look at the plants themselves, it helps to understand why some plants are able to grow in water in the first place. Many indoor plants have a natural ability to develop new roots when their stems come into contact with water. This process is commonly known as water propagation, and it's a method gardeners have used for generations to grow new plants from simple cuttings. When a healthy stem cutting is placed in water, small roots begin to form from special growth points along the stem called nodes. Over time, these roots expand and adapt to absorbing oxygen and nutrients directly from the water around them. In nature, some plants already grow in environments where their roots experience constant moisture or even standing water. Because of this, they can adjust surprisingly well to living in water alone, especially when grown indoors in a stable environment. For indoor gardeners, growing plants in water offers several appealing benefits. One of the biggest advantages is cleanliness. Without soil, there's no mess, no spilled potting mix, and no need to worry about dirt on floors or furniture. Maintenance can also become much simpler. Instead of managing soil moisture, you can easily see the water level and refill it when needed. Clear containers also allow you to monitor root growth and plant health at a glance. Another reason many people enjoy growing plants in water is the visual appeal. Glass containers, bottles, and jars can transform ordinary plant cuttings into elegant living decorations. The green leaves above the water and the delicate roots below create a minimalist, natural display that fits beautifully in modern homes, offices, and kitchens. Now that we understand why some plants adapt so well to water, let's explore some of the indoor plants that can thrive and grow beautifully with nothing more than a container of water. Let's begin with one of the most popular and beginner-friendly plants you can grow in water, pothos, often known as devil's ivy. Pothos is a trailing vine plant recognized for its heart-shaped leaves and its ability to grow in many different indoor environments. The leaves are usually bright green, often decorated with golden or light yellow patterns that make the plant look vibrant and lively. One of the reasons pothos is loved by indoor gardeners is its incredible adaptability. It tolerates low light, irregular watering, and a variety of growing conditions. Because of this, it is also one of the easiest plants to grow in water. Propagating pothos in water is very simple. Start by cutting a healthy vine just below a leaf node, the small bump on the stem where leaves grow. Place the cutting into a glass container filled with clean water, making sure the node is submerged while the leaves stay above the water. Within a week or two, small white roots usually begin to appear. As the roots continue to grow, the cutting gradually establishes itself and can remain in water for a long time. To keep a pothos plant healthy in water, place it in a location with bright, indirect light. Direct sunlight can sometimes stress the leaves, but a bright room works perfectly. Changing the water every 1 to 2 weeks helps keep the roots healthy and prevents cloudiness or bacteria from building up. Over time, the roots will grow longer and create a beautiful display inside the glass container. With its trailing vines and elegant leaves, pothos can easily become a decorative centerpiece on a shelf, desk, or windowsill. Because it is so forgiving and easy to grow, pothos is often the very first plant many people successfully grow in water. And once you see how simple it is, you may find yourself wanting to try many more plants this way. Another plant that grows remarkably well in water is lucky bamboo. Despite its name, lucky bamboo is not actually a true bamboo plant. It belongs to a group of plants called Dracaena, which are known for their ability to grow in a variety of indoor conditions. Lucky bamboo has become especially popular in homes and offices because of its elegant appearance and the belief in many cultures that it brings good fortune and positive energy. One of the most distinctive features of lucky bamboo is its tall, smooth green stalks. These stalks often grow straight upward, but they can also be trained into beautiful spirals or curved shapes, making the plant both decorative and visually unique. Lucky bamboo naturally adapts very well to growing in water. In fact, it is most commonly grown this way. Instead of soil, the stalks are placed in containers filled with water, often supported by small decorative stones or pebbles that help keep the plant standing upright. To grow lucky bamboo in water, simply place the base of the stalk in a container with enough water to cover the roots. The leaves and upper part of the stalk should remain above the water line. Over time, the plant will continue developing roots that absorb moisture and nutrients directly from the water. For best results, lucky bamboo prefers bright, indirect light. It does not enjoy harsh direct sunlight, which can sometimes cause the leaves to turn yellow. The water should be refreshed every 1 to 2 weeks to keep it clean and healthy for the plant. Many growers also prefer using filtered or distilled water because lucky bamboo can be sensitive to chemicals sometimes found in tap water. With its graceful stalks and minimal care requirements, lucky bamboo is one of the simplest plants to grow in water. It adds a calm, natural touch to desks, shelves, and small indoor spaces while requiring very little effort to maintain. Another excellent plant that adapts beautifully to growing in water is the spider plant. Spider plants are well known for their long, arching leaves that often feature green centers with white or cream-colored stripes. These graceful leaves spread outward in all directions, giving the plant a light and elegant appearance that works well in many indoor spaces. One of the most interesting features of spider plants is their ability to produce small baby plants, often called spiderets or pups. These tiny plantlets grow on long stems extending from the main plant, and they are perfect for water propagation. To grow a spider plant in water, you can simply take one of these baby plantlets and place its base into a container of clean water. The lower part of the plantlet, where the small roots begin to form, should remain submerged while the leaves stay above the water. Within a short time, the plantlet will begin developing stronger roots. As these roots grow longer and healthier, the young plant becomes fully capable of living in water for an extended period. Spider plants prefer bright, indirect light, which helps them maintain their vibrant leaf color and steady growth. They are also very forgiving plants, making them a wonderful choice for beginners who are just starting to experiment with water-grown plants. Changing the water every 1 to 2 weeks will help keep the roots healthy and prevent the water from becoming cloudy. As the roots expand inside the container, they create an interesting visual display beneath the plant. With its flowing leaves and easy propagation, the spider plant is a simple yet rewarding addition to any indoor collection of water-grown plants. Another beautiful plant that grows very well in water is the heartleaf philodendron. This plant is known for its soft, heart-shaped leaves and its long trailing vines that can gently cascade from shelves, hanging containers, or window ledges. The leaves are usually a deep, rich green, giving the plant a calm and elegant appearance that fits nicely into almost any indoor space. Heartleaf philodendron is especially loved by beginners because it is both hardy and adaptable. It tolerates a wide range of indoor conditions and can grow comfortably in either soil or water. Propagating this plant in water is very simple. Start by cutting a healthy section of vine just below a leaf node. The node is the small bump along the stem where leaves and roots naturally develop. Place the cutting into a container of water so that the node is submerged while the leaves remain above the surface. After about 1 to 2 weeks, small roots usually begin to appear from the node. As the roots continue growing, the cutting gradually establishes itself and can remain in water for a long time with proper care. Heartleaf philodendron prefers bright, indirect sunlight but can also tolerate slightly lower light conditions, which makes it a good plant for many indoor environments. To keep the plant healthy, it helps to replace the water every 1 to 2 weeks so the roots always have fresh oxygen and nutrients. As the roots grow longer and the vines continue to extend, the plant becomes both a living decoration and a beautiful example of how easily some plants can thrive in nothing more than water. Another striking plant that can grow surprisingly well in water is the Monstera deliciosa, often called the Swiss cheese plant. Monstera is famous for its large, dramatic leaves that develop natural splits and holes as the plant matures. These unique leaf patterns give the plant a bold, tropical look that has made it one of the most popular indoor plants in recent years. While Monstera is usually grown in soil, it can also adapt very well to water when propagated correctly. In fact, many people enjoy growing Monstera cuttings in glass containers because the thick roots that develop underwater can look very impressive and decorative. To grow Monstera in water, begin by taking a cutting from a healthy stem. The cutting should include at least one node, which is the point on the stem where leaves and roots grow. This node is essential because it is where the new roots will develop. Place the cutting in a container of clean water so that the node is fully submerged while the leaves remain above the surface. Over the next couple of weeks, you will usually start to see small roots emerging from the node. As the roots grow longer and stronger, the plant can continue living in water for quite a long time. The thick, branching roots often create an interesting visual display inside clear containers. Monstera plants prefer bright, indirect light, which helps them produce healthy leaves and steady growth. Direct sunlight can sometimes be too intense, so a bright room or a spot near a window usually works best. Refreshing the water every 1 to 2 weeks will help keep the roots healthy and prevent the water from becoming cloudy. With its bold leaves and impressive roots, Monstera deliciosa can become one of the most eye-catching plants in a collection of water-grown houseplants. Another beautiful plant that can adapt to growing in water is the Chinese evergreen, also known as Aglaonema. Chinese evergreen is admired for its broad, decorative leaves that often display attractive patterns of green, silver, or light cream colors. These patterns give the plant a refined and elegant look, making it a popular choice for homes, offices, and indoor spaces where people want a plant that is both beautiful and easy to maintain. One of the reasons Chinese evergreen is so popular among indoor gardeners is its ability to tolerate lower light conditions. It can grow comfortably in rooms where many other plants might struggle, which makes it especially suitable for apartments and indoor environments. Although it is commonly grown in soil, Chinese evergreen can also be propagated and maintained in water through stem cuttings. To start, take a healthy cutting from a mature plant, making sure that the cutting includes at least one node along the stem. This node is the point where new roots will develop. Place the stem cutting in a container filled with clean water so that the node is submerged while the leaves remain above the water. Over time, small roots will begin to form, gradually allowing the plant to adapt to its new water-based environment. For best results, Chinese evergreen prefers bright, indirect light, though it can also tolerate moderate indoor lighting. Changing the water every 1 to 2 weeks helps keep the roots healthy and prevents bacteria from building up in the container. As the roots grow and spread inside the water, the plant can become a calm and elegant decorative piece. With its patterned leaves and relaxed care requirements, Chinese evergreen is another excellent plant for anyone interested in growing houseplants in water. Another plant that grows very quickly and easily in water is the wandering Jew, also known as Tradescantia. This plant is famous for its colorful, trailing vines and vibrant leaves. Depending on the variety, the leaves may display shades of deep green, purple, silver, or even striped patterns. These bold colors make the plant especially eye-catching when placed in a clear container where both the vines and roots can be seen. Tradescantia is known for being one of the fastest plants to propagate in water. Its stems root very quickly, which makes it a great option for beginners who want to see visible results in a short amount of time. To grow Tradescantia in water, simply cut a healthy section of stem just below a node. The node is the small point along the stem where leaves grow and where new roots will begin to form. Place the cutting into a container of clean water with the node submerged while keeping the leaves above the surface. Within just a few days, tiny roots often begin to appear. Over the next couple of weeks, these roots grow longer and stronger, allowing the cutting to establish itself fully in water. Tradescantia prefers bright, indirect light, which helps maintain the rich colors of its leaves. If the plant receives too little light, the vibrant patterns may begin to fade. Changing the water every 1 to 2 weeks will help keep the roots healthy and clear. As the vines continue to grow and trail outward, the plant can create a beautiful cascading display, making it a lively and decorative addition to any indoor water plant collection. Another classic plant that can grow well in water is English ivy. English ivy is known for its elegant, trailing vines and its distinctive leaf shape. The leaves are typically deep green and often have light veins running through them, giving the plant a textured and graceful appearance. Because the vines can grow long and cascade downward, English ivy is often used in hanging displays or placed on shelves where the stems can trail naturally. While English ivy is commonly grown in soil, it can also adapt quite well to growing in water, especially when started from cuttings. To propagate English ivy in water, take a healthy vine cutting that includes a few leaves and at least one node along the stem. The node is the small joint where roots will begin to form. Place the cutting in a glass container filled with clean water, making sure the node is submerged while the leaves remain above the water. Over time, small white roots will begin to grow from the submerged node. As these roots develop, the plant gradually establishes itself and can remain in water for extended periods with the right care. English ivy prefers bright, indirect light and cooler indoor temperatures. Too much direct sunlight can sometimes cause the leaves to dry or lose their vibrant color. To keep the plant healthy, it's helpful to refresh the water every 1 to 2 weeks. This keeps the water clear and provides the roots with fresh oxygen. As the roots spread through the container and the vines begin to trail outward, English ivy creates a classic and decorative look. Its flowing stems and timeless leaf shape make it a beautiful addition to shelves, desks, or window areas where the plant can grow freely in water. Another elegant plant that can adapt to growing in water is the peace lily. Peace lilies are well known for their smooth, dark green leaves and their graceful white flowers that resemble small flags or sails. These blooms, combined with the plant's glossy foliage, give it a calm and sophisticated appearance that fits beautifully into many indoor spaces. While peace lilies are most commonly grown in soil, they can also be grown in water when the roots are properly supported. In fact, many people enjoy displaying peace lilies in glass containers because the roots beneath the water create an interesting natural display. To grow a peace lily in water, it's best to start with a small plant that already has an established root system. Gently remove the plant from its pot and carefully rinse away the soil from the roots. Once the roots are clean, place the plant in a container where the roots can sit in water while the base of the plant remains above the waterline. Some growers like to add small stones or pebbles to the container to help support the plant and keep it standing upright. Peace lilies prefer bright, indirect light, though they can also tolerate lower light conditions better than many other indoor plants. Keeping them away from harsh, direct sunlight helps protect their leaves from damage. Changing the water every 1 to 2 weeks helps keep the roots healthy and prevents the water from becoming cloudy. Over time, the roots will spread through the container, creating a beautiful underwater network. With its graceful leaves and occasional white blooms, the peace lily can become one of the most elegant plants to grow in water, bringing a peaceful and natural presence to any indoor environment. Another attractive plant that can grow well in water is the Syngonium, often called the arrowhead plant. This plant gets its name from the distinctive shape of its leaves. The young leaves usually have a pointed, arrow-like appearance, and they often display soft shades of green, sometimes mixed with light cream or pale pink patterns depending on the variety. As the plant grows, the leaves can become fuller and more decorative, giving it a lush indoor look. Syngonium is a fast-growing vine that adapts very well to water propagation. Because it grows so easily from stem cuttings, it is often recommended for beginners who want to experiment with growing plants in water. To propagate Syngonium, take a healthy cutting from a mature vine. The cutting should include at least one node, which is the small joint on the stem where roots naturally form. Place the cutting in a container of clean water, making sure the node is submerged while the leaves remain above the waterline. After about a week or 2, small white roots will begin to grow from the node. As the roots continue to develop, the cutting gradually establishes itself and can remain in water for an extended period with proper care. Syngonium prefers bright, indirect light, which helps maintain the healthy color and shape of its leaves. It can also tolerate moderate indoor lighting, making it suitable for many homes and apartments. To keep the plant healthy, the water should be refreshed every 1 to 2 weeks. This helps keep the roots oxygenated and prevents the buildup of bacteria in the container. As the roots grow and the vines continue to extend, Syngonium becomes both a lively indoor plant and a beautiful decorative display when grown in clear containers of water. Another plant that grows extremely well in water is mint, a popular herb known for its refreshing aroma and bright green leaves. Mint is widely used in cooking, teas, and beverages, and it's also one of the easiest herbs to grow indoors. Because mint grows quickly and naturally produces new roots along its stems, it adapts very well to water propagation. To grow mint in water, start by cutting a healthy stem from a mature plant. Choose a stem that has several leaves and make the cut just below a node. The node is the small point along the stem where roots will begin to grow. Remove the lower leaves from the bottom portion of the stem and place the cutting into a container filled with clean water. The node should remain submerged while the upper leaves stay above the water. Within a few days, tiny white roots will begin to appear. Mint is known for rooting very quickly, and before long, the roots will start growing longer and stronger beneath the water. Mint plants prefer bright, indirect sunlight, which helps them produce fresh and healthy leaves. Placing the container near a window or in a well-lit kitchen often works very well. To keep the plant healthy, the water should be replaced every 1 to 2 weeks. Fresh water helps prevent stagnation and keeps the roots strong. One of the nicest things about growing mint in water is that it can be both decorative and useful. A simple jar of mint on a kitchen counter not only adds greenery to the space, but also provides fresh leaves that can be picked for tea, drinks, or cooking whenever needed. Another herb that grows beautifully in water is basil. Basil is one of the most popular culinary herbs in the world, known for its soft green leaves and its fresh, slightly sweet aroma. It is commonly used in a wide variety of dishes, from salads and sauces to soups and pasta. Growing basil indoors in water can provide a constant supply of fresh leaves while also adding a pleasant green touch to your kitchen or windowsill. Basil is also very easy to propagate in water. To begin, take a healthy stem cutting from a mature basil plant. The cutting should be about 4 to 6 inches long and should include several leaves. Make the cut just below a node, which is the point where roots will begin to grow. Remove the lower leaves from the bottom part of the stem and place the cutting in a container filled with clean water. The node should remain submerged, while the upper leaves stay above the water surface. Within about 1 to 2 weeks, small roots usually begin to form. As these roots grow longer, the basil cutting gradually becomes a stable plant that can continue growing in water. Basil prefers a bright location with plenty of indirect sunlight. A sunny kitchen window often provides the perfect environment for healthy growth. To keep the plant thriving, the water should be refreshed every 1 to 2 weeks. Fresh water helps keep the roots healthy and prevents the buildup of bacteria. With its fragrant leaves and simple care requirements, basil is a wonderful herb to grow in water. It offers both beauty and practicality, allowing you to enjoy fresh herbs while keeping your indoor garden clean and easy to maintain. Now that we've explored some of the most popular plants that can grow in water, let's talk about how to care for them properly so they stay healthy and continue growing well. Although growing plants in water is simple, a few small habits can make a big difference in keeping your plants strong and vibrant. One of the most important things to remember is to change the water regularly. Fresh water provides oxygen to the roots and helps prevent bacteria from building up. In most cases, replacing the water every 1 to 2 weeks is enough to keep the environment clean and healthy. Using clean containers, especially glass jars or bottles, can also help maintain healthy plants. Clear containers allow you to easily see the roots and monitor the water level. They also make it easier to notice if the water becomes cloudy, which is a sign that it's time for a change. Light is another important factor. Most water-grown plants prefer bright, indirect sunlight. A spot near a window where the plant receives gentle light throughout the day usually works very well. Strong direct sunlight can sometimes heat the water too much or encourage algae growth. While many plants can survive in plain water for quite some time, adding liquid plant nutrients occasionally can help them grow even better. A small amount of diluted liquid fertilizer every few weeks can provide the nutrients that plants would normally receive from soil. It's also helpful to keep an eye out for algae or root rot. Algae can sometimes develop in containers that receive too much direct sunlight. If this happens, simply clean the container and replace the water. Healthy roots should look light-colored and firm, while dark or mushy roots may need to be trimmed away. With these simple care habits, many indoor plants can continue growing happily in water while remaining easy to manage and clean. Once your plants are growing happily in water, you can also begin to have a little fun with how you display them. One of the most enjoyable parts of growing plants in water is that they can become beautiful decorative pieces around your home. Simple glass jars are one of the easiest and most popular choices. A clear jar allows you to see both the green leaves above the water and the delicate roots growing below. This creates a natural, minimalist look that works well on shelves, windowsills, or desks. Another creative idea is using hanging bottles. Small glass bottles suspended with string or placed in hanging holders can turn plant cuttings into eye-catching vertical decorations. These displays can look especially beautiful near windows where the light passes through the glass. Some plant lovers also enjoy using wall propagation stations. These are small, glass tubes or containers mounted on a wooden frame or wall rack. They allow you to grow multiple plant cuttings at once while creating a unique living wall display. In the kitchen, herb jars can be both practical and decorative. Plants like mint or basil can grow in small containers placed on the counter or windowsill, giving you fresh herbs whenever you need them while adding greenery to the space. You can even create minimalist desk plants by placing a single cutting in a small bottle or narrow vase. These simple arrangements bring a calm, natural feeling to workspaces without taking up much room. Because water-grown plants don't require soil, they are incredibly flexible when it comes to decoration. With a little creativity, even the simplest plant cutting can become a stylish part of your indoor space. As we've seen, many beautiful indoor plants can grow surprisingly well in nothing more than water. From trailing vines like pothos and philodendron to decorative plants like lucky bamboo and peace lilies, there are plenty of options that can thrive without soil. Growing plants in water is one of the simplest ways to start indoor gardening. It's clean, beginner-friendly, and requires very little equipment. With just a cutting, a container of water, and a bright spot in your home, you can watch roots develop and leaves grow right before your eyes. It's also a wonderful way to add natural beauty to your living space. Clear containers reveal the delicate roots beneath the water, while the green leaves above create a calm and refreshing atmosphere in any room. If you've been thinking about starting an indoor garden, growing plants in water is a great place to begin. It's simple, relaxing, and incredibly rewarding to watch your plants grow day by day. If you enjoyed learning about these plants, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more plant discovery content. And down in the comments, let us know which of these plants you would try growing in water first.